Welcome to the second game of the night in week 4 here, as we have the undefeated Intimidators taking on the 2-1 recently renamed Black Hole. We have Black Hole starting with the disc and an early turn thrown by Adam. The Intimidators will get their first chance to make a break here. Timmy Myers will be picking up the disc. We've got Timmy and Corey in the handle set. Libby making the first cut downfield. Disc moves to Corey. Over to Libby on the foreside. Upfield to Twang. Twang brings us back to the middle. Corey with a nice inside throw to Libby. Libby looking, sees Timmy open, or Corey, and Corey for the score. So we have Timmy Myers making the pull. Sends it deep down, and Adam Davenport receiving. Centers it to Amir. MC can't find anything. Finds a nice strike to Amir. We've got a poach right in the lane, and Amir beats it with the hammer to the break side. Adam and Amir working back and forth, just chipping away edge of the field. Centers it back to MC in the middle. Amir with the disc on the line. Eric looking but can't find anything in the end zone. Amir looking for the hammer, does not give it, gives it right back to Eric. Eric finds a nice spot to Dan Sloop in the middle for the score. Amir sending down the pole for Black. Hits a rafter and it will be at the brick mark.
Or I'm too dehydrated. You don't want to cramp up from dehydration tonight.
No, not at all. We're going to need it tonight. Timmy puts up a big hook downfield and just out of bounds. Libby wide open on the cup, but Timmy cannot put it in. But it looks like there is a foul call on the play at the throw.
Probably calling a foot block foul, like a foot to the hand or something. Because if you're allowed to follow through without the foot there, that actually won't go out of bounds.
Yeah.
If somebody's hand is in the way, that stops you from getting the amount of OI to curve it back in.
Another call on the play here.
I wonder if that was a pick.
I'm not sure what this was. Timmy pointing to the break side and puts up a big hammer to Libby. And Libby will beat Ben to the disc. And finishes it with a throw to Q for the score. Libby sending up the pole. Yeah. Yeah, let me give you some money. All right. Black looking back and forth between Amir and Adam. A big hug coming up to Eric. And Eric reels it in over Will. Eric making the pull in this 2-2 game.
Looks like Green has been trying to play the same poachy defense that beat Black last week. And the same defense that Green used against my team last week, where they have a dude poaching deep to try and get hucks and a woman underneath to get the unders. That was a good layout D attempt.
And even, oh!
That was a very good layout D attempt. I guess that was a Karma D? Did he get a piece of that?
Yeah, Eric with the huge layout to get that. And Black is looking to take their first break of the game and put this back on serve. Eric with the blade across the field.
Yeah,
wide open to
Black
Dan.
up. It doesn't put them up very high in power rankings.
Not as high as you think. The Intimidators here have had a 3-0 start to this season, but the 3-0 start has been against all three of the teams that have yet to win a game this year in Winter League. They've taken down Tropic Thunder, Icebox, and the Angry Birds. And last week we thought Angry Birds had their first win, but when we went back and counted the score, it actually ended in a tie that was decided based on it.
Timmy.
Timmy reels it in.
Yeah. It was a good read.
We were saying that last week, Angry Birds, the game actually ended in a tie, but due to a score reporter error, they will come up with the win there.
Mir hucking right away to easy. But that green poach deep that they're using is working.
Thank you.
It puts yet another person deep that Black doesn't want near the end zone.
I believe that was that Anthony that time who was deep? Or was that Timmy?
No, anyway, I think it was Anthony.
And the Angry Birds will keep the win as long as that does not become a tiebreaker scenario for a playoff game.
I thought they said they were going to keep the tie.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they're going to keep it as a tie, and then if it affects, then they'll play the last one.
Well, let's say it's still to be determined by the commissioners of the league.
Is that
There's Twang.
Twang with the around. Wendy hucking to Benish.
Foul call made by Eric. Everybody wave. And a no contest foul by the offensive player. So we'll have a turnover with Black getting the disc.
I don't know. I would say that foul is slightly Eric's fault because he was backing into Will really hard, and so Will, trying to prevent Eric from just pushing him over, puts up his hands to stop that push, causing a foul to be called.
And Black will easily take it back with the field and hold here. Eric with a nice looking pull.
That's probably
looking. It's going to settle right at the back line.
Oh no, that was probably going to land in. PK made a good decision to catch that.
EQ looking from deep in the end zone. Moves it up to Timmy. Corey Helm with the big break huck to Libby.
Big backhand Libby, who kind of, I was going to say, almost misread that.
I hear a lot of commentating going on here.
Well, a lot of commentation actually happens when the camera's off. It's not my choice. I start talking in between points about things that happen during the point. Pinecone just turns off the camera.
Because people want to watch nothing happen.
Well, Black is opting here to go 5-1. And Timmy must have agreed to that beforehand because I would have not agreed to that.
I don't think Timmy has. How many women does Black have?
3?
They do have 3.
Yeah.
Because Timmy broke the Timmy rule tonight. He picked up a woman, right?
Yeah. Well, I think Timmy only had 2 women.
Right.
And so I guess with 3, maybe that's why he agreed to it. But even with 3 women, I would still.
Black working the disc up the field very nicely for the score.
Disc if they made an in cut and get the disc. Otherwise, they shouldn't be coming in that far.
John's really doing a lot. I think.
Yeah.
John's our overall MVP so far.
I wasn't a huge fan of his matchup against JB. I don't think that's really the type of guy he needs to be on, but I guess there's not really any specialist on your team to guard JB.
Yeah, we don't have an ideal person to cover JB.
Black is going with a zone against Green right now.
We're looking at
Suckman do the work, the dirty work.
a standard 3-man cup here.
I don't think that's a cover all. I think it's a one and jump.
Yeah, it's a one man chaser with Sluka chasing. And in my opinion, on this field, it's really hard to play a zone because A, there's no wind, and B, you just can't cover that space fast enough.
You're outdoors.
Yeah,
Just let me know.
like if you're up, so I guess if you pull to start the game and then you go up a couple points or a couple breaks and manage to score and then have it halftime so you receive again to score, that's a huge swing in your favor.
Jason is discussing the strategy behind halftime here on a timed clock as opposed to a set score.
Yep. Yeah, actually, technically, outdoors, you should always receive the pull because if there is an exchange of points throughout the game, the team who received first will always win.
Yeah.
And the opposite is true in Winter League. You always want to take that opportunity to receive the pull in the second half because it may be essentially a half break.
Yeah.
Eric making a layout bid to the break side.
But no one cares.
For the score.
We're busy talking. Okay, and he walked up, got it, didn't say anything, went back downstairs.
Wow.
You'd rather look
I
at
mean,
the
if they made such a big deal about us having to buy stuff here,
Yeah, and you have
I
to
would think they would
make an
actually-
effort to get them to give us anything. That's a good look.
That is very good.
That's a
Is that
Corey is saying he's in. Yeah.
Corey with the huge grab on the break side?
switch too. Dark going with the setup.
Libby with the nice pull. Coming down to MC right in the goal line.
That was a
We're looking and we'll find MC with the over the shoulder backhand.
that is not going to stay in. Or is it? Wow.
Reeled in by Amir downfield. And finishes it.
All right. Still on serve this game. Coming down. This could be the last point before half. Will Dark put on the pressure to try and get a break here? Doesn't look like it. Libby yanks it.
Corey easily runs onto it for the score.
I think Anna thought that was to her, and Corey came in from behind to clean that up.
I think it was to her.
Regardless, a very nice run by Corey. It'll have to be reviewed by the association.
That is 2 out of 3 into the ceiling for Intimidators.
I think that's their strategy. Pull it to the ceiling, force them to play short, poach it, hit it deep. And it's not quite paying off since it's on serve.
Then again, if they're going to give up the D anyhow, might as well save your energy.
Yeah.
This has been a very offensive-based game, but we've only seen one break by both teams.
Dark looks like they're trying to do kind of a handler feature here. MC and Adam running a lot. Not much movement out of anybody else. Good D by Green. Oh, that was so unfortunate. That was good D.
Twang knocks it up, but Amir reels it in on the second effort.
That was a strike for not quite a score. On the cone. Playing Chile.
Black doing a good job of being very patient on the goal line here.
But that is a nasty looking cluster of people. And now they all run to the other side. There's a mob of blue coming through as we speak. There they find the corner. That is
And Robert Olson.
What's it score?
It's 8-7 dark. Just everything's on serve.
8-7 black.
Black.
Yeah.
Black hole, to be exact.
Black hole. That just landed in and rolled out, so it's stuck on the corner.
The
Q
trademark
manages to get it out.
by Libby when she's open. When Libby gets open, she goes. Really?
Kind of
Yeah.
the Peter from
If you
Family
watch her
Guy.
when she's open, she starts. So I should do that.
Wendy
That's like what
restrains
she
herself.
says when she gets open.
Oh, from the ground. What?
Timmy Myers
From the
throwing the
ground.
disc from the ground.
Never heard of that.
Winter League jerseys brought to you by Disc Store.
Yeah. I do not know who that is. Easy yanks it unwisely, apparently. This could be a break. This could be what the Intimidators need.
That throw could have been either higher or
Slower.
yeah, like more down the line, but like more touch pass.
A lot less than what it was.
Yeah, exactly. It made it really hard to catch.
Libby does not take deep to suckling. Or actually not. No, she's suckling as well.
And the MC's got position on that. The SWAT team
SWAT
right
man.
there. If that had gone back up and Twain caught that for a score, MC would have done the trademark slap to his own face.
Mere scampering does not get the disc. Mrs. Dash up the line. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Pretty.
a good throw by Adam Davenport.
Damn. I believe the answer is no.
I just haven't heard anything.
Oh, player. Wendy. Using that open space well. They finally run out of room. Put another under. Ramming it down the line to Libby. Libby with that
Hammer to
time.
Timmy.
Nice throw. Nice
Good.
The nice hammer across field to Timmy for the score.
Actually, the way to beat this team is to break them twice in a row, and then it goes all downhill from there. Because
As determined last week.
yeah, last week they got broken twice in a row, and everything fell apart.
So
And so
I-
if they that's what they cannot let happen. So if they make sure to stack all their O lines so they always score their O points,
There are a couple of disadvantageous matchups on this line for and there's one of them.
MC on Q, or Q on MC is a very favorable matchup for MC.
Easy gets the strike and
Ooh,
doinks it.
with the old turnover. The old turnover, having to reach behind him to get that, and oh,
Timmy does. I knew he was going to
Huge
go for finish
OI.
that.
going to Will Banish.
Io. A call on the play. Bennett just calling a foul on Amir here.
Oh, I don't know, Will
And-
Banish.
And it looks like Bennett was going to give the call up, but Timmy is telling Bennett to not let it go. Amir almost had Bennett convinced it wasn't a foul.
Banish had that in his hand, and so if anything, Amir swatted it out of his hand after he caught it.
But Amir,
That's
Amir
definitely
did,
what it looked
he
like
did
to
almost
me.
pull off the witty conversation or talk to get Bennett to drop
I
the
mean,
call altogether.
If Amir's argument was Amir had position, yes, that's true. Amir had position, but Will jumped over him and caught it,
Yeah.
and then was bringing it down, and it got knocked out.
I believe Amir went to the argument though that Bennett had already dropped the disc when he touched him.
Pick was called. Thought I did hear that, but they're ignoring it. Okay, never mind. And they wasn't picked.
We've seen several picks go
Oh, that's a good effort.
unrecognized.
Hammer time.
Oh,
And the wire claims another victim.
Yep.
the Wire keeping this game on serve.
That is just like one of those. It's one of those movies where like the great hand just comes down and changes the function of things randomly.
We would have won our first
The
game if it
gods.
wasn't for those goddamn wires.
The Greek gods,
We would have gotten blown out in the third if it wasn't for the Wires.
capricious and arbitrary.
Black looking to work this one up the
Got
field.
to get this. This is huge for them. They got to get this 0 point.
They're doing a very good job of not just putting it up this week. Last week we saw them go a little bit huck happy.
Well, see, that's where they get impatient, is they start working it, and then they get to a point where they're like, screw this, let's throw it to the end zone. And then they do, and more often than not, it's a turnover.
They've done a very good job today, though, of continuing to work it. And right there, MC did find Adam wide open, but Adam just could not make the correct read on it.
I would say the improper decision was to make the throw
Timeout, Green.
instead of throwing it shorter.
Green.
We'll play resume here.
Definitely not as
Corey Hilton with the disc. Green is looking for a break here.
Yeah, the way these guys have held serve, any break could be the game decider. Oh, Corey with a beautiful throw.
Timmy. Eric Zarobola with a huge layout.
Foul call.
But a foul call by Timmy.
MC trying to lobby the clean D.
From the angle here, it really looks like Eric may have made a play on the disc before the disc reached Timmy, or before Eric touched Timmy as well. And I'm feeling Eric is on the same page there as he throws it back and contests it.
The claimed foul call was on the side of Timmy that we couldn't see, and so
That's very true. But based on Eric's reaction to the call and contesting it very quickly,
well, when you're in the air like that, it's really hard to tell if you actually did foul him or not, because you're so focused on the disc.
Yeah.
That if you hit him a little bit,
Oh my gosh.
that was a good second attempt by him.
Twang just doinks it. I would
So
say the
maybe
disc
there
never lies,
is a
but
guy
we all know that's
who
not
evens it
true.
out.
Yeah.
The disc doesn't lie, as the cliche says.
It's a terrible statement.
Yanks it. That's drifting well for the receiver. Nice.
Just barely catching that in.
Ryan Dvorak brings the disc inbounds. Good game going here. We got 13:30 left in the game.
Still
on serve. Black up 10-9.
PK will inbound. Good hustle on D. Nothing open right away. Timmy has to snag an aerial.
I think Timmy's looking at Libby deep, but she decides to go under.
Nothing deep. Sees Wendy. Wendy holds. Working the sideline. Beauty.
Yep.
Beautylicious.
Down the line, up the line.
Lily with another great pull.
Yeah, that's really nice when you can land it right there in the middle of the end
halfway
zone.
deep or halfway
That
back.
high up, that far deep. Now Green is playing a poach. I think their objective here is to try and make the point last a long time again.
You see,
But if they really want it to last a long time, they should play hard man like they did 2 points ago.
yeah, we
Because
have.
then Black will decide to try and throw into a tight coverage.
Actually, I think this is Green's serious attempt to get a turnover because they're just trying to have that one confusing point.
Yeah.
Find someone on Black who wants to push it, doesn't see the poach, and gets it taken away.
You see a lot when the zone can really break down what you were doing on offense before and cause you to make that error where you haven't mentally adjusted to it yet.
Timmy plays his zone a lot at the second half of games that are tight just because he realizes sometimes like that.
Ooh.
Like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
Timmy Myers
Yeah.
with an amazing layout D.
Timmy almost just went headfirst into the wall on that play.
And knowing Timmy, he would have not thought twice about it. We've got.
This is the opportunity here for Timmy to get. Ooh, Timmy hit his head
MC
hard on the
comes
ball
out.
there.
MC trying to come help on the play, takes out Timmy,
Takes him out of the
and we'll have a no contest foul call. And Timmy will be receiving the disc on the goal
MC
line
did
here.
just run straight into.
There's no doubt it was a foul, but
Yeah.
it turns into play you might have been able to help on to a guaranteed disc on the goal
Green
line.
already took their time, right?
I think they did. Owen Twang makes an open cut and cannot zero the disc in.
Yeah.
The effort made him drop that.
Intimidate on the
that point where
Intimidators.
You gotta catch those. You gotta catch that.
Wow, and that's the second time now we've seen Twang down here.
Because
Make a huge drop.
If he catches that, it goes from on serve Black up to where I guess at this point in the game, whoever's up 1, we can say on serve up 1.
And with 9 minutes left in the game now, that is a huge missed opportunity for Green.
Or in tennis terms, advantage.
Missed advantage.
Yeah, right now Black it's advantage Black.
At this point, MC and Eric are not going to let anyone else touch the disc that they don't trust.
They're going for a really long point now. Those two, that first possession was really long, and then it just like the quick hop turned into another long possession.
We're starting to see some frustration from Black as they can't quite find quick, easy things to move it. And MC making a big save.
Wendy almost got that D as it went around him.
That was definitely a great play by Wendy.
Forcing that to go like way, way around. He's really making him. Wendy's position is making them either go way around him or try and find a pop in the middle of the field.
Easy choosing. There he finally got around to it.
He almost got impatient and hucked that to the end zone. I think that's where the turnover is going to happen if it happens. Is somebody with the disc is going to get impatient.
Easy and
Ooh,
MC.
and Eric does throw it right into the wall.
The net. I was going to say Eric and MC could have worked it all the way up the field just by making looping throws that made 2 or 3 yards at a time.
Against a defense like that, impatience is going to be the cause of turnover.
And trying to fit tight spaces, and we see right there with the wall 2 yards off of the sideline, tight spaces are all over.
Tense, very tense. This is where Libby should get open and score. This is called Libby on the block. That's it. Pick called.
A pick call, but
Is it in the play? Apparently.
I think Libby's defender got picked and fell over.
it will have an effect on the play, and the disc comes back to Timmy.
Question is, will Amir immediately come around and prevent strike, or will he let Timmy throw it anyhow? He's gonna let it go.
Oh, an inside throw to Libby,
That is
and
it.
Green
That
breaks to
is
take a lead with 6:40 left in the game.
Green's got a pretty strong line in here. We'll see if they go hard for the D, or just continue to trade points from here on out. Yeah, Mitch. And will Black start to press, knowing that they are now down a break? Easy finally wears out Jimmy's friend.
I think it's Anthony.
Unfortunately, looks like Easy's worn out too. Oh, that's going to be costly. That's going to be costly.
Oh, thought for a second Timmy was just going to huck that.
Cat Tower with the disc. And the gloves. Gives it a yank. Who's going to get there? Oh, and Timmy comes down with it anyhow? Yes, he did. Boom. Yeah. Dark in a hole now. They got to score quick.
He moves him the cutter set. Let's see what he
Score
does
quick,
here.
get a break.
He's got
Let's get back in this. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
No, I think I prefer last point where I was sitting down and doing the recording because I can see the. Here, let me see if I can
Still.
down here.
Easy's just making loping cuts. And they're just not. If I was Black, I'd just take the chance and throw it up to Easy deep. Let's see, looking. This point's down 2 minutes. Yeah, they got it. Fortunately for Black, they took a minute and a half for their 1 minute timeout and basically hurt themselves. So now there's less than a minute and 20 left. Cat Tower.
layout on that, and he might have to play there.
All Green has to do is hang on to the disc when this game is
They
over.
do. They just have to hold on to the disc for a minute. There's a minute 8 left.
Black looking
Win. Libby with a sick. Oh, Timmy says, "What the hell? I'll just score." to cat tower
Who
one.
does it
Corey.
will be the game.
That will probably, unless Black can score
In less than 50 seconds.
2 points in 50 seconds, then that
That's not
will
gonna
be the game. We'll see what happens if.
There are 11 seconds left. Whether they pull this or not, the game is over. And inTIMidators will win 13-11. And Libby
And-
yanks it
yeah.
into the
Pull into the ceiling
yanks it into the
is what
ceiling.
causes the end of the game.